Hello guys, JW4ZXT. Did a different orientation on my loop today. I did have it in a delta configuration with one end high, the other two ends coming down low to the ground. Had a PVC pipe here and a PVC pipe here, and it was fed at this corner. Today, it's a 40-meter loop. It's made for monoband, 40 meters. So here's the house, and there's a deck here off the back of the house, and I've got a pole up here. I took a 12-meter spider beam pole and I run it up here. So I have a gate right here that the electric company comes in and checks the meter over here under the deck. So I wanted to not have him run into put his eye out here, but I wanted to try this because I've been wanting to try it for a while. It's the 40-meter loop in a square configuration. It's in a vertical plane, so it's like this if you're looking at it from the side, or if you're looking at it from the air. So it's a quarter wave on each side. Right now it's fed at the middle of the bottom, and it's right above a chain link fence that runs right down here to the neighbor's property here. So it's not very high off the ground, but its broad sides are northeast, southwest. And I wanted to see what happened when I run it in this configuration. I've run the loop in about every configuration. Obviously, the rounder the better, and the higher the better. Ideally for DX, you want to feed it about a quarter ways up this, probably about right there, or maybe a little lower, to get the vertical. I've got it horizontal because I tried to pull it through. I got an eye loop up here, and the wire's so old that it just snags. So the farthest over I could get it was here. But anyway, I'm sure the neighbor's not going to be happy with this pole. And the good thing about the spider beam pole is it has a lot of flex up here. So if you get some rapid winds and stuff like that, it's going to sway. We do get a lot of high winds here, so this one up here and these two down here are just tied off, pulled with tension through 550 cord on the fence right now. It's a 75 ohm stub, and it's about 24 feet long, maybe a little less. It might be 23 3/4. And it's RG6 quad shield with a velocity factor of 0.86. It runs kind of up the sidewalk here, and it terminates into LMR 400, which it goes into the shack here. So it's new orientation is okay. I'm gonna try to make it look a little better, but at least I've got it away from the fence. It's probably not far away from the fence. People ask if chain link fences are good to have, and I don't ever remember an instance where it has been in my experimentation. So if the fence was laying horizontal, then maybe. So I've got a reference infed half wave, and it's an inverted L, so it goes up here about to here, and then it goes over on the other side of the house, and there's a tree right here, and then it shoots this way to another tree, and it's about 30 feet up. But but it plays really well. There's another tree up here, by the way. It's not coming down like a half square or anything. It's coming over to the other side of the front yard. There's a big, almost a 90 bend right there. So really impressed with the end-fed half wave, honestly. One thing I noticed about this, about the loop, when I took it from a Delta configuration, obviously getting it higher on two sides made it electrically longer. So now it was resonant. The resonant point was at 7.1, and now it's at about 6.95 is the SWR, but it covers the entire 40 meter band, more specifically the the CW portion where I want it to really work. How will it work for DX? I don't know, but I did notice that. Let me pan over here. In most cases, it hears anywhere from 1 to 4-ish units better than the end-fed half wave. Let's go down here. Well, everybody's signing off. Currently on the loop, there's the end-fed half wave. There's the loop again. So a lot of people spend a lot of time chasing dB. Let's go down here and find somebody else. That's the loop. There's the end-fed half wave. A lot of QSB tonight. There's the loop. Back to the end-fed half wave. So let's go down. We're on the end-fed half wave. Switch to the loop. That's W1AW. That's why the pile up. Let's see. If you'll notice the loop is a tad bit noisier, not a lot. If I can get somebody to stay, switch back to the end-fed half wave. End-fed half wave. There's a loop. End-fed half wave. So you'll notice the noise and the pan adapter go away when I go to the end-fed half wave. back to the end-fed half wave. Back to the loop. Back to the end-fed half wave. Back to the loop. So they're fairly comparable. So what I'm gonna try to do is go do some transmission here on the RBN. If I can get my camera to stay stationary here. So we'll start out with the loop on 7062 and hit the reverse beacon network. Alright, I'm not hearing anybody, so just TEST and then your call sign. So the thing is, you can hear it's just pinging everywhere. With spots. N3FJP alerts me when I get spots. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop down to 061.5, 7061.5. I'm going to switch to the end-fed half wave and do the same thing. A lot of spotting coming in here, so let's try to refresh RBN here. You can see we've got a lot of stuff up in the northeast here, even southeast. Looks like we hit Costa Rica. And again, this is at 819. So you see the gray line just had moved in. So what we want to do with this is, like I mentioned once before, wow, that's a lot of spots. Good heavens. So what I want to do is look for like NC7J. I hit it with the end-fed half wave and didn't hit it with the loop. I hit Italy with the end-fed half wave at 15 dB and I didn't hit it with the loop. KM3T stroke 2, it was 24 dB on the end-fed half wave and 25 dB on the loop. Looks like we hit Tango India 7 just on the end-fed half wave. So we hit WS3W also on the end-fed half wave and nothing on the loop. W4KAZ, it looks like on the end-fed half wave we hit it at 8 dB, and on the loop we hit it at 10 dB, so a 2 dB difference there. ZF1A, looks like it was 15 dB on the end-fed half wave and 20 dB on the delta loop, so that thing's shooting south really well. N4RLI looks like I don't see it on anything but the end-fed half wave. So what I'm looking at is for duplicates, since we're on two different frequencies. KM3T, it looks like it was 17 dB on the end-fed half wave, 19 dB on the loop. W3RGA was 36 dB on the end-fed half wave and 42 dB on the loop. So let's see, continue down here. N6WIN stroke 7 was 18 dB on the end-fed half wave and 19 dB on the loop. 1 dB difference. So it looks, as far as I can tell, I mean, you can really, here's Italy Kilo 4 VET. Oh, I did hit them on the loop, I'm sorry. 15 dB on the loop to Italy, and 15 dB on the end-fed half wave. So it looks like about the same. Yeah, there's so many spots here, I can't get them all in the frame. Tango India 7, it looks like we hit that also. Sorry, we hit it on the loop at 16 dB. And we hit it on the end-fed half wave at 11 dB. So 4 dB favored to the loop. Anyway, so it's, I mean, it's, for this time of night, this is about what you would see for most antennas, dipole, or here in Kentucky anyway. One big hop across the pond. Interestingly enough, on 20 meters, the antenna is not, it's got like a 3-to-1 SWR, the loop does. The end-fed half wave is perfectly resonant. I did the same test on 20 meters using the tuner in the radio, and the loop and the end-fed half wave were identical for the most part. So let's see here. I wish there were some DX that would really make things nice, but you can see 40 meters in great shape tonight. So we're going to switch back to the delta loop. You notice the noise picked up just a little bit in the background, not enough to worry about. I'm using the IPO on the DX10. Let's see. That's kind of what I thought, the guy would disappear. I'll switch to the end-fed half wave. There's the end-fed half wave. Back to the loop. Back to the end-fed half wave. Back to the loop. Back to the end-fed half wave. I'll switch back to the loop. So you see about a 2 or 3 dB difference there. Still on the loop. Going to the half wave. Back to the loop. Fair comparison between those two. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit, guys. I get out and muscle around with these antennas and poles and stuff. End-fed half wave. Back to the loop. So, like usual, the end-fed half wave is a very good antenna. I think the loop in a square orientation in a vertical plane, I think it deals with QSB better. Most people, 75 to 80% of people are a few dB stronger on the loop, and the end-fed half wave does really well. I can't really tell with the RBN just yet. I'll let Grayline go, but on the RBN, the end-fed half wave was grabbing skimmers that the loop wasn't, but the ones they were both hitting, the square loop was a little better than the end-fed half wave. So just an experiment, fun part of the hobby. So long video, I know I get to rambling, but I just wanted to show you guys, if you can get a loop up, I'd recommend it, but only if you can get it in a vertical plane, meaning if you got 2 trees and you can get it up with 2 ends high. If you can get 1 end high and 2 ends low, that's good. One of the places I hate a loop is if you got 2 trees and a big yard, and people will run it from here to back here to a tree and then back here, and it's basically flat, right? So most of your radiation is just going to shoot straight up. It's going to be what they call a cloud burner or cloud warmer or whatever. So most times if you have the space to put up a dipole, an inverted V like this, you can put up a loop. And I've noticed they work really well mono or multi-banded too. If you make one like this, try not to get the wires too close together like this, so it becomes a folded dipole, and it doesn't act like a loop. It doesn't have the same properties and stuff. So that's my spiel again on the loop antennas. Hard to beat. I've always heard they open the band and they close the band. I think there's a lot of truth to that, or at least in my experience. Now, if I had 100-foot trees in the yard, I would have a party, an antenna party. Catch you guys later. W4ZXT. See ya. Oh, if you have a loop or any other orientations of loop, or you compare antennas, I'd like to hear from you guys. Just drop it in the comments. Okay, see ya.